Hey friends, Stephanie Zima here with my Way of Life coaching. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the moment I realized I was enough. That's the moment that everything in my life and in my career has actually changed. And, if you are keying into this topic, it's probably because you are somewhat feeling insufficient, or maybe that you are not good enough, right? Maybe this sentence is echoing back in your brain. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. The self-doubt, you are starting to struggle. You're trying to reach goals, but you can't because there's always this nagging little feeling. Sometimes it's not even a voice. It's just a feeling that you have that you are not good enough. And many of us struggle with this. And if that is you, you want to tune in here today because we're going to talk about it. We are going to figure out where it's coming from, and we are going to give you tips and tricks as to how to make that little voice go away. Okay. So before I dive in though, if you are new to me, I am Stephanie Zima. I am the founder of the Walk It Free mentorship program, where we heal, connect, and level up. We are healing all the trauma, all the childhood things, the paradigm issues, things that are holding us back, what are keeping us stuck, right? Whether or not it's imposter or self-sabotage or self-doubt. We dive really, really deep into where it's coming from so we can attack it at the root cause and make it go away through a healing process. And then we are connecting with our brand, our vision, of our goals, our purpose, all the things that we want, and also all the people around us. And then together we are figuring out a plan to work through all the obstacles that life throws at us, because that is what happens a lot. And we work through this together in this mentorship program so that you do not have to implement alone. So this program is really different than all the others online courses that you're doing, because this is one-on-one coaching. This is me being there with you, figuring out, getting deep into where everything is coming from and where you want to go, and help you actually adjust as you go. Okay. All right. So diving into this topic, I am not good enough, and where this is coming from. The problem is that when you think that I'm not good enough, it's because you are actually seeking external validation and not internal validation. When you seek external validation, it's really a trap because external validation is inconsistent to start with. People's opinions change all the time, right? Someday they may approve of you and someday they may not approve of you. And it just constantly rises and falls with everything. External validation also keeps you playing small, because your fear of rejection is just so big that you will only do in accordance to the group of people that you're with. Okay. So what does that mean? You have maybe heard that you are the product of the 5 people that you spent the most time with. If those 5 people are growth seeking, always striving, people that are really going for it, that's when you start leveling up all the time. You start looking for the next big thing. You're starting to go and do and, become more. But if the 5 people that you spend your time with are content with where they are in their comfort zone, then stepping out of that comfort zone is probably not going to be so successful. So what's really important is that you are not doing that. Okay. You cannot be playing small anymore, because then you're going to get stuck. So a little bit later on that. It's also dangerous to seek external validation because it creates anxiety. And so many of us are having anxiety. We are dealing with this all the time. It's because we are having pressures to always perform. If you are only defining your value by what other people think about you and how you measure up, then you are going to have to always perform to their expectations. And that puts on a lot of stress. And so that's why a lot of people are feeling this anxiety. And last but not least, it actually makes you be very easily manipulated. If you are someone that needs external validation to feel good for you and able to survive, you are going to be super attractive for all the narcissists in your life, all the people that are seeking you to be able, like they want you to be moldable and manipulative, right? Toxic relationships are just yes, undervalue yourself. This is where it's at, right? It's super dangerous to constantly look for external validations. So if you are a woman in business, for example, and you're not quite sure, does that apply to me? Does it not apply to me? It does, because a woman in business undercharges for her services because she's afraid clients won't like her if she raises her prices. Okay, so that's something to keep in the back of your head. If you are afraid to charge full price, or if you're always feeling guilty and you always sound like, I should have a discount, like it's from this internal need to be accepted by an external source. Okay, that needs to be dealt with. That fear of rejection, if somebody doesn't see your worth, that needs to be addressed, and it will be addressed by learning how to go to internal validation instead of external. Okay, so internal validation is the power of self-acceptance, for example. So trusting yourself, value your own opinions, and feeling secure in who you are, that is absolutely key. If you are having that nailed down, you know who you are, you know what you stand for, right? We sometimes call that your mission, vision, values. You know who you are, you know what you stand for. That gives you internal validation, because you know then you're accepting yourself, you're good the way you are. You do the things you want to do and you work within your value system. Okay? Why it's so empowering? It's because the decisions are coming from you, and you will not have a fear of judgment because it doesn't matter what the other people say. It's coming from you directly. It's coming from your authentic self. Okay? And if you are able to do that, you are also going to be able to just take action without anybody cheering you on, without anybody chatting, clapping for you and saying, hey, look at you, amazing, all that kind of stuff. Like, you are able to take the action. Now, can you imagine how important this is if you are someone in a leadership role, if you are having a sales team, if you are a leader in your company, if you want to get somewhere, or if you're even just a parent, because here's the thing, no one clapping for you when you're a parent, but you've got to know somehow why you're doing certain things the way you do things. You've got to take that role of a leader on to be able to be successful, okay, in whatever endeavor you're going for, whether or not it is in your career, in your job, in your parenting journey, in your relationship. You've got to have some internal motivation, some internal approval system, and acceptance of what you are trying to do here on earth. And so many of you are not doing that. So many of you are not aware that that is the foundation. You have to be, in order to take your life back. Like, let's say you have been in a toxic relationship, right? Because you are kind of a people pleaser and you're trying to like make this all work. You have to know what you're standing for. You have to know that you are good regardless what other people are going to say. If you're a business leader, you have to know that you are going to succeed. Belief always comes first. Okay? So confidence comes from you understanding and trusting your own process, your own value system, your own self, and your abilities over what you can do for others. I struggled with this for a long time, right? Because I grew up surrounded by narcissists. I was a constant people pleaser. I was hyper vigilant on trying to read people's emotions and reading their cues. And I did all of that subconsciously because that stuff came from my childhood as a survival mechanism. And I never even realized that I was looking for other people's approval. And it was excruciating because I wasn't getting the approval from others, because the people that I surrounded myself with, they used my constant drive. They wanted me to do more and more and more and more and more and more. And it was exhausting. And I was burning out, and I was trying to give more, trying to please more, because I was looking for them to say, "Atta girl." I was looking for them to say, "You're enough." I was looking for them to say, "You are doing the right thing. Keep coming." And that does not come necessarily, especially the higher up you go in your career, the higher up you climb up the ladder of your entrepreneurship. Eventually, it's going to be on you, girlfriend. Okay. It's going to be on you. You're going to make the decisions. You're going to figure out what content you need to write. You're going to figure out how you want to lead your team, what events you want to do. You are going to have to do these things. And you can't do these things if you somehow have the subconscious drive to look for external validation. That's part of when I talk about in our program, we are healing. Okay, we need to heal that insecurity of yours. You have to heal that part of yourself. So you need to attract relationships and people and opportunities that allow you to be authentically you. Okay, because when you have your mission, vision, values clear, and you can be in your authentic self and you can be aligned, that's when you start shifting from valuing others to valuing yourself, right? You're looking at through the lens of not, oh, do the others approve of me? You're going to start looking through the lens of looking at yourself and what you've written out. Okay. All right. Let's dive a second here in how it affects women in sales and entrepreneurship in general. Okay. Because this is such an important topic, especially if you're a leader. In business, external validation is really having you struggle with hesitating to post something, for example. And maybe you don't want to sell anything because you have a fear of judgment. Watering down your message to please everyone, guilty as charged, right? I did not want to really take a stand and I'm still kind of working on that a little bit in full transparency, to really nail down the message. It's coming closer and closer, and just know that whatever you are doing, there's always a level with the new devil. It's kind of like you're always leveling up, right? You were setting a goal, you're striving for it, you're healing something, you're connecting again, you're leveling up. It's always like stairs. You grow as you go on your journey, and you will continue to grow. And that's a good thing. So watering down, if you find yourself not really saying the truth, not really talking about it loudly enough, boldly enough, it's because you're trying to not upset people, because there's a part in you that feels not enough. That's a part in you that's still looking for that validation. Okay. If you feel like the need to be praised a lot to feel successful, that's what happened to me before, right? I was always striving more, because I needed to hear the "atta girl." I was trying so hard to get it from my bosses, but they would never give it to me because they just wanted more from me, and they were just taking. And I also didn't have boundaries. So I ended up burning out. And it's not a good feeling when you are burning out. So don't let it get to that. We need to learn how to have that internal validation. Is so important. Showing up consistently with the message, charging for what we think we are worth and what the program is worth without any guilt, and staying resilient even when success takes time. Now, I think my program is worth more than I charge right now. However, I have a very specific target group of people that I want to attract at this moment. So my price point is still fairly reasonable, right? Very reasonable, actually probably too cheap. But I also know that the target group that I'm looking to help at this moment with this mentorship program is not financially capable of paying thousands and thousands of dollars. So until I have a different solution for that situation, get in as long as you can, because it will go up. It will go up eventually. So make sure you get into the program right now so I can get that off the ground, and then eventually it'll be more. All right. So how do we shift? How do we shift from external to internal validation? Number one, we need to practice self-approval. You have to ask yourself, do I approve of this choice? Before you start seeking other people's opinions. Okay. I'm not saying that you should never ask anybody's opinions. You should totally ask other people's opinions and also kind of gauge feedback and stuff from other people. But you got to ask yourself first, what do I think about it? Do I approve this? Do I like it? What does it sound to me like? And then go ask other people about what they're thinking about it, and then have all the data and make your decision. Okay. I make decisions on everything like that. I always think about myself. What do I think? Do I like it? Do I not like it? Do I want it? Do I not want it? Do I think I can do it? And then I ask all the other people and consult all my resources. And then I make a educated decision on what and how I'm going to proceed. Next step would be to detach yourself from likes and praises. And that is really hard in our social situations right now with social media, right? Everything is about the likes and everything is about it. You've got to keep telling yourself that people who have a lot of likes are not necessarily the ones who are making a lot of money. Okay. That's just what it is. It's truth. Some of the high influencers are not making any money at all. And some people who have literally only 500 followers or something, they may make millions. So you cannot ever focus on what the likes and what the comments are or the praise is, because it doesn't mean anything. Okay. It doesn't mean anything if anybody applauds. It's all about what you think in your goal and what exactly goal you are going for. If you are not clear on what you're going for, you also cannot do the next step. The next step would be to celebrate your wins. You have to celebrate your wins, because that every single time you celebrate it, you will reaffirm that you're good enough. You will reaffirm that that was good. So you actually, instead of having other people giving you the praise, you give yourself the praise. That's what you do when you celebrate your wins. You give yourself the praise. Okay. So when you are able to give that to yourself, you will no longer need it from other people. And how are you going to give it to yourself? By having clarity. Okay. Clarity plus actions will yield results. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's clarity plus action will yield results. Write that down. Okay. Building unshakable self-trust comes by being your word. You've got to say, I'm going to do that. And then you're actually going to do that. And you're going to raise your confidence level, because you start realizing like, dang, yeah, I know I can do that. That's amazing. I got this. Okay. That's how you are able to do that. So if you are letting external validation guide you, I would like to talk to you, because you need to heal that. You need to heal that. If you are wanting to level up in your job, if you want to level up in your career, in your business, if you want to level up in your private life, it doesn't matter. But if you want to level up, you need to shift from seeking external validation to internal validation, meaning you can be very clear and grounded in what you have going on and what you want to achieve. And I'll tell you one thing, if you are ever struggling with anxiety, if you are able to do this, you are going to come past this. You are going to eliminate that anxiety, because you have a roadmap to follow, and you are going to be able to celebrate your wins and are able to crush all the things that you want for your life. All right. I cannot wait to hear your comments below. Send me a message, comment below. Let me know what your struggles is and what your thoughts are and what your key takeaways are from this video. Love to chat with you and connect. Walk it free.